So we've established that studying grammar yields long-term benefits in a variety of ways and contexts. But let's talk about something more immediate. Let's talk about how the SAT and ACT view grammar. To do that, we have to talk about two sections. The English section, that would be in the ACT, and the writing section, that would be in the SAT. Now, the SAT and ACT are fierce competitors and rivals for market share. They're like the Pepsi and Coke of the standardized testing world. And although the tests do have their differences, these fierce competitors really converge on their treatment of grammar. So if we were to imagine the SAT and ACT as a Venn diagram, right? The place where they would overlap the most, to the point of being identical, would be their treatment of grammar. And those grammar questions are housed in the English and writing sections of the respective tests. The English section in the ACT is the first section. It has 75 questions. And the writing test of the SAT is the second section, and it has 44. Okay. However, they are extremely similar, despite the different number of questions and despite the number of seconds per question that you get in each of the tests. Their similarity extends to the question types that you will see in each of those sections, which roughly break down in a 66%, 34% split, or a 1/3, 2/3 split between two main question types. The first of which is called grammar. So 66% of questions you will see in the English and writing sections will be grammar. And then 33% will be a different variety, which is called rhetoric. Now, I have specific strategies for rhetoric questions that will be the subject of future Mighty classes, but I just want to break down how you can quickly recognize them at this point now before going in depth about grammar in particular. Rhetoric questions can be identified on either the writing or English section. Again, we're going to be treating those as pretty much the same because their curricular demands are virtually identical. You can identify a rhetoric question quickly because it has something called a question stem. What is a question stem? Well, if you're looking at a test and you see question 1 and you see any sort of text preface the answer menu, so and then your characteristic A, B, C, and D. This prefacing text here, the words that come before the answer menu, those are a question stem. And by and large, questions with this text before the answer menus belong to the rhetoric family. Okay, 33 to 34%, based on an average of recently released SATs and ACTs, you are going to see are going to be rhetoric questions. But the majority of time, indeed the supermajority of time, the questions you are going to encounter will not have this preface of text. It will be simply the question number, and it will skip right to the menu. Okay, those questions, by and large, are going to be grammar. Okay, and grammar questions are at the heart, then, of both the English and writing tests. And that is what this particular series of seminars is about. Now, grammar questions themselves break down into three families or categories. Syntax, which is about the structure of sentences. parts of speech, which are the ways we categorize words based on what they do, and punctuation, the kind of agreed upon conventions of how we punctuate or separate or organize our thoughts. So we are going to investigate each one of these topics in turn: syntax, and parts of speech, and then punctuation. And by the end of our punctuation talk, you will have had experience and exposure to all of the essential grammar concepts that are tested in this 66%. All right, so let's get into it, starting with syntax.